Cool. Hello. I think we have this all working now. Get started then with explaining my process for getting these cloth installs into our scenes. So right now I have a raw animation scene. Right now we have our 30 frame run up is what we are working with, or what I'll be working with in this scene. So we've got 25 frames, then the hold for 5 before we start animating. Boom, hold, animated, carries through, right? Now we want to start simulating this cloth. We want to get her dress back on her. So, first thing we have to do is get our Olympic cache in here. So we need to go Olympic cache, import Olympic. If you don't have this, you need to go to Windows, Settings, Preferences, Plugin Manager, type in ABC, and then check off all of your Olympic exports. Awesome. Let's get this scene set up then. Actually, I want to cache out this violin first because I do not want to have the rig in the scene when I am getting ready to start my simulation. So I'm going to hit the up arrow to select all of the appropriate geometry. I'm just going to shift select the bow. So cache, Olympic cache, export selection to Olympic cache. Make sure you have time slider selected with steps at 1. You want to use the time slider so that you have your frame range as you've defined down here, -30 to 196 for this shot. Scroll down here, UV right UV face sets, world space. That way I can just go ahead and apply the same materials to this violin as we have on the Olympic. So I'm going to export the selection. You can already see I have my Olympics set up for Ailey, so I don't really want to do too much with them. Let's call this VLN1, and we will call this Anum. It's not colliding with anything. Actually, no, it might be colliding with the dress. So that's another reason why it needs to be exported as an Olympic, aside from the fact that it moves. So since we know this is going to be a collider, I'm going to call this _col. And we're going to export that. It's going to run through our frame range to make sure that it knows all of the positions. Awesome, we're good to go. So I'm going to now select all of my rig for the time being. I'm going to hide it. Beautiful. I'm going to Arnold. Nope, cache, Olympic cache, import Olympic. The default option should be fine. I'm going to use Ailey1 Sim VDB body wrap. This I ran through Houdini already, which is going to get me similar topology to what I have on my cloth install file. So now we have this interestingly topologized model. Then we can see, yep, this plays through our frame range beautifully. That's exactly what we want it to do. Goes, sits down in the chair. Awesome. That's perfect. Let's get the violin in here. Cache, Olympic cache, import Olympic, VLN1 Anum collider. Let's see how this goes. Let's turn on anti-aliasing. There we go. Now I can actually see things pretty. Ooh, it kind of lags behind a little bit there. See that? Oh, actually, you know what? That doesn't matter. That's in the first. That's in the run-up. Does it stick properly for the rest of it? It's in for. Awesome, it sticks properly for the rest of it. So I don't care that it kind of floats in the run-up. That's not a big issue. Now I'm going to get my install file in here. I'm going to import, go up to my assets, and I'm going to find install. v1.30, that's my most recent, I believe. Yeah, date modified at the same time. I'm going to import v30. Oh, I didn't check namespaces. And I missed it in the replay to find out. Let's look at the namespacing. Oh, wow, I actually have the namespacing right. Beautiful. So this is our install file. You might notice it's not in the same place as everything else. And it definitely should be. First things first, let's get out my cheat sheet. I obviously know what I'm doing, 100%. Let's open the attribute editor because we're going to start needing that soon. SimCage. Here's my collider. Awesome. Let's start with the init meshes, which is why we've got our install, grouped out all nice and neat. and then we have our sim cages sitting right here, is because we need to duplicate this, and I'm going to call this sim cage, or I'm going to call this init mesh. That stands for initial. Later on down the line, you'll understand why we need to do this step. So that was the skirt. Let's get our shirt init mesh. We don't have to worry about the belt because it's actually wrapped to this collider. So when we blend shape this collider to here, it's going to follow automatically and we don't need to worry about it. Cool. So we've created our init meshes. Now what do we do? Well, we need to wrap them back to our base collider. This is so that they can have the information for when we set them as the initial state after blend shaping. Nice. Where were we in this one? Init mesh, were they wrapped yet? The skin collider had some wrapping done. Yes, I can see they were wrapped. Let's do this one at a time. So we're going to just delete this, delete that, all that. So we don't need the rigs anymore, so I'm going to go File, Reference Editor, and I'm just going to uncheck Daly's rig. I'm going to uncheck the violin rig, because we don't need those anymore. Beautiful. Cool. We're not going to increment save yet. Thought about it, didn't. Let's go with the skirt since that's the most dynamic and I want to make sure that that's working first. So we will Shift D, Daily, init mesh. Wunderbar. Let's make sure, let's make sure this is wrapped correctly. So I am literally just going to drag it and see if the belt follows. Beautiful! The belt follows. Why didn't I just start with this file? Oh, right. I wanted to troubleshoot in case we had any issues. Awesome. We still have our init meshes. We have our wraps done, apparently. Didn't realize I did that already. Let's go ahead, click the collider. So we're all at the same step where we were last time. Except that the belt is wrapped right thing. I suspect that what was giving us issues with the transforms in the last few tests that we did, where they were snapping all the way across and not following, was because I accidentally deleted the wrap a few versions ago on the belt, so it wasn't following, which means the skirt wasn't going to be constrained to the right spot. Hopefully, this fixes it. So let's set the blend shape to 1. Boom. Yep, we can see the belt followed with it this time. That was not happening before. So let's do one at a time then. Hide file 6. Oh. That's interesting. That broke it. Oh, wait, no, because we're going to slide the skirt init mesh over. So we select the init mesh. We select the skirt. We hold space. We go to fields and solvers. We go to initial state. We go set for mesh. Snaps over. Back 30 frames. Back 30 frames. Jump 20. It's not going to know how to do the math for that. Awesome. Oh, that's right. It's because I constrained the shirt to it as well. Okay, so the skirt is in place. Beautiful, wonderful, awesome. Now we just need to get the shirt in place. I'm interested, though, in seeing how she interacts with the chair. For sitting down with the skirt. So I am going to go to frame -30. I'm going to go Windows, Play Blast Options, going to set this to 1, set that to 196. We'll do D4, and I will play. Okay. Moment of truth. How does it look in motion? So there's the run up. Ugh. I bet you there's a lot of inner penetration that is happening there. That doesn't look too good, does it? Walk, that's all fine, And then she sits down and it just crunches on itself. Holy smokes. Wow, that is not good. That is hot garbo. Granted, that's, not the goal, ideally. But it's certainly something that I could do. All right, let's see how this one looks from the front. It's a lot looser, which is fine. And then it kind of becomes jello, though, when it's in motion. Feels like Jello a little. Let's see this moving a little bit longer. Actually, no. The Jello was just in the run-up. And when she sits down initially. Bet you if I paint down that bend stiffness, increase damp a little bit more, it'll feel a bit more like a heavier fabric. Yeah, it's really stretching that knee so much. Okay. Oh. Wait till base 2 disappears. Awesome. Cool. Gonna set you over to frame 0. Yeah, no, we shouldn't have to do this in every scene. We shouldn't have to do it in this scene, but, you know, that's not working either. Constraint group, waistband, skirt, waistband, shirt. We'll delete that. And now we can not start over, but we can start doing our constraints and our binding again. I'm going to go into wireframe mode for this. I said I'm going into wireframe mode for this. Thank you. Go to vertex mode. Just going to shift click around it this time. And where's the next one up? There it is. Boom. Boom. Beautiful. And do I want to go to 3? I can go to 3. Why not go to 3? You know, more the merrier. Shift click onto this. Space and constraint. Point on poly. Or point to surface. Point on poly is a different constraint. Boom. Boom. 1Q. Awesome. This is ALI1. Waistband shirt. Band shirt underscore dynamic constraint. Goes into the dynamic constraint group. Cool. Now let's wrap our init mesh to our skin collider. So you select the init mesh, then you select the collider, then you deform, then you wrap it. It has been wrapped. Let's put it where it belongs. It doesn't want to go where it belongs. That's not fine, but I'm ignoring it for now because that's a different issue. We already did the blend shape. Select the cloth node in the outliner, or select the init mesh, which is right here. Then select the cloth node. Then you go to fields and solvers, initial state, set for mesh. No errors this time. Important note, increment and save. Moment of truth. Click on the character, click on the blend shape, set it to 1. Oh wait, that followed? Just go back to frame 30? Turn on render mesh. Huh? ¿Por qué? I'm going to trust that it is going to work when I hit simulate. I had too much trust that it was going to work when I hit simulate. Init mesh. Cloth. Fields and solvers, initial state, set for mesh. There we go. I don't know why that was hard. Oh, you know what? I do know why that was hard. I accidentally set from selected first, didn't I? Yeah, before we turn on that blend shape, select init mesh, select cloth, space, fields and solvers, initial state, set from mesh, U to 1. init mesh, fields and solvers, initial state, set for mesh. Go to frame 0. Maybe? Turn off SimCage, turn off SimCage. Why did me turning off SimCage turn off the render mesh? Is it because I hid the render mesh? I don't think I hid the render mesh. No, I did not hide the render mesh. Okay, it just glitched out. That's fine. Sometimes render layers get a little buggy. Okay, so let's hide our collision mesh. Where is my render mesh? Or my anim skin, or whatever I called it. We can close that. Did I not bring it in this? Oh no, I did. There it is. Oh wait, no, that's the actual anim skin. I just want to see it work. I'm pretty sure this is the chair. I'm gonna call it inrigid chair. Wait, what? What are you? What even are you? What? Okay, I'm not worrying about that inrigid right now. We're just gonna pretend it doesn't exist. Funky, wacky, crazy, genuinely. Skin collider. Skin. Oh, there it is. Haha, found it. It's because it's not called the right thing for some reason. Render. Mesh. That first letter needs to be lowercase, because camel case is the way to organize things. In my opinion. Control-Alt-S. Continue. Violin body. You can get an in-rigid. While I'm thinking about it. Nope, not in constraint. In cloth. Create passive collider. And I'm going to focus in on him. Or her. Or anywhere in between or undecided. I don't think violins have gender. Unless you're speaking a Romance language. Or a German-based Germanic language. Or any language. Really? That's fine. That's some thick collision thickness. It does not need to be nearly that thick, I don't think. And I thought correctly. Boy, do I think sometimes. 0.05? Yeah, definitely did not need to be 0.3. Are you crazy? Bonkers. Okay, let's go to the camera view. Let's turn off our... Yeah, I know you can't update the viewport list because I turned it off of the viewport list. I mean, but thank you for telling me, I guess, script editor. Very kind of you. Okay, let us Control-Alt-S. Continue. I think I already did that, but you know what? It doesn't hurt. Why not just continue saving? You know? That's my idea of a fun time. Okay, Windows. Playblast. This is a new iteration since the shirt is on it, so I do actually care this time. I will call it 6. And now we wait for about 4 minutes while it crunches this out. I'll make the tweaks that I want. And then literally at the end, what you do is you open the elim select, because I got rid of the export function from it. You open the elim select, and then you just click on your buttons that are like for simulation, and it'll select your simulated shirts. So what it does is it goes ahead and it looks for the render mesh groups that I have, and it just selects everything in there. And then you do your export selected. Well, actually, it selects things individually in that group, but I could have there be an option for it to select everything in that group. I think I don't think I needed to go 3 high on the end constraints. It kind of shows. You can see it folding too much. Oh well. This skirt looks a lot better so far, though. I don't see the knee as aggressively. Oh, but that's because she just started moving. Ha! God, look at the way the buttons follow the shirt, though. That worked pretty well. IMHO. I have the violin selected. That's going to bother me. Oh well. We'll see how this Playblast looks, and then I am probably going to stop streaming for tonight and just, fine tune it myself separately. I might go live again, but I'm not entirely sure. I didn't make the table a sim cage. I should have done that. Or a N rigid. There we go. A passive collider. Oh, the wrinkles on the shirt. Okay, this was kind of starting to simulate. Oh, what's happening in the back? What happened in the elbow? Oh boy, I bet I moved too quickly. I know how to fix that. Yeah, no problem. It's basically congratulations. You just took the 419 class by watching this stream. The way that we would fix the sleeve having clipped out is because she moved too quickly. Yeah, she moved really quickly there, which is fine. The way that we fix that is if I go over here and I go into in my shirt and I go, or no, it's probably the nucleus. Yeah, I go to the nucleus and I go to my solver attributes. I just turn up the substeps a little bit more. I think I moved a little bit too quickly. I can also do it in the shirt where I can turn up the substeps specifically on the shirt. So if I go to the shirt state and I go to dynamic collisions, nope, it's quality settings. And go to quality settings and we've got the collide iterations and the max iterations. I can turn those up a little bit as well. I can also turn on the trapped check, which I probably should have done. Wolf series, but I'll do that next render or next play blast for tonight's meeting. Ooh, boy. That shirt really fell apart on that shoulder. I didn't do that earlier. That's a bizarre one. Okay. I mean, we're not going to get too much out of this one for the shirt because I clipped through it already, but it is nice seeing it all together. Okay. Yeah, we're getting some really interesting deformations here. Ignoring the shirt in the background, or the sleeve in the background. Okay, cool. I'll just keep tweaking. Why not? I know what this looks like by this point. Show it to me. Shows a little bit too much there. Yeah, I need to get rid of one of those rows of constraints. So yeah, matches. She pulls it back and it breaks. So that backwards movement is too fast for the shirt sleeve to keep up, and it clips through. That's where that simulation breaks. And this is, yeah, the creases do look fancy, right? Yeah, no problem. I'm gonna keep tweaking this. I'll have something for our meeting later tonight. And I'll tweak this for like another 30 minutes, and then I will edit down my 2 hours of rambling and troubleshooting into hopefully like 15 minutes max. But then again, there is also this VOD if you do need to refer to it for references. But yeah, awesome. Thank you all for coming out. It was a pleasure to hang out and talk shop. Follow if you want to see more. And get notifications when I go live. So yeah, take care.